Okay, I have not entirely got my thoughts in order for this video. This is, first of all, going to be about mountains and molehills, and and I want it to be about moles, but you'll think I mean the mole, the animal, so let's say pimples. Okay. Now, TJ has accused me of making mountains out of molehills, and surprisingly, somebody, maybe a different person or at least a distinct personality, made the same comment in my video on the runaround. That I'm just making a big deal out of stuff. Okay, first of all, you have to understand, this is like I'm taking somebody from 600 years ago into my rather modest science lab, and I put a pimple underneath the microscope, and I have them look through the microscope, and they go, "Oh my God, it's a mountain! We're all going to be crushed!" And I have to calm them down. I have to tell them, "Don't worry. You're not going to be crushed. It's not really a mountain. It's the product of magnification. We're looking closely at something." "No, it's a mountain. I'm going to be crushed." No. "Yes, you're making a big deal about a pimple. You're making a pimple into a mountain. We're all going to die." "No, it's just a pimple. And this is a microscope." Okay, but there's more to it than that. Why have I made some videos on TJ and his ideas? Well, you have to understand that TJ was putting for months streams of these comments on my videos, not one of which do I remember ever relating to the topic, but just random things about the sounds of frogs in the background, or there's mosquitoes, or trying to tell me I should put on off, or what do I have against off, or, just totally pointless things to me. And I sought finally, because I don't like blocking people, and I will not block somebody that is just annoying me, not being threatening, not making an ass of himself in any, material way. Just annoying me, maybe because of my pet peeves. Like, for example, I like comments that are on topic. That's why I'm here. I'm not that interested in stray comments. I could ignore them for a while, then I decided to reply to them, and then I decided that we would turn this into a real topic somehow. And my first way of doing that is just on the issue that he's implicitly pushing, that I owe him information. And so I did, and we started a conversation like that. And he basically made a public figure type argument and said, well, since I'm here publicizing myself, of course he wants to know that, and in some sense maybe I owe him an answer. Well, that's where I very much disagree, and again, I'm somewhat annoyed. I don't owe him an answer, but I agree that, maybe I should be sympathetic to the fact that maybe some people would want to know these kinds of things. I mean, he's asked me other things that were, better than questions about off, but which I don't really want to go into. I don't want to go into my educational background. I don't even like to go into, okay, well, what philosophers have influenced me most? I mean, those things come up. I'm not going to hide those things, but I don't want to emphasize them because I don't want that to be what we're doing here. I don't want to say, here's something that's true because here's my citation. So I'm just going to say, here's an idea, here's why I think it's true, and you think for yourself. Okay, but as I said, I understand maybe people, want to know. Now, TJ started to represent this to me, that, okay, I can see this guy's trying to figure out what makes me tick. Again, what annoys me is I don't think it's that he sees my philosophy, or I don't get the impression, I don't know, but I don't get the impression that he sees my philosophy and is wondering, well, what makes a guy that could think that way tick? And it could be, and that would be fine with me. I mean, in any possible way. It could be, this philosophy's nuts. What could make a guy tick that could think such a thing? Or it could be, this philosophy is good and what makes him tick. Or it could be, this philosophy is just weird, what makes him tick. I don't see any of that. It's more like, this guy's a YouTuber, what makes him tick? Now, the public figure argument is funny because I am not a public figure. I don't think the number of subscriptions I have changes that. Because for one thing, to really know, if we were talking about what a public figure is in terms of being truly known by a lot of people they didn't know, then, what would cause someone to fall into that category? In reality, well, it'd have to be normalized. It can't just be that somebody has seen you and you've never seen them, or knows or has heard a story about you and you've never heard one about them. That happens to everybody, right? So that does not make you a public figure. So you would have to take a comparable group to myself. So take everybody that has posted on average one video a day, like roughly I have. I mean, I'll skip 4 days and then make 5 videos. And so if somebody made one video a day, how many subscriptions on average do they have? And I think you probably find that it's around what I have or more. Um, that's my impression. So I don't think that I'm going to rise to a public figure. On the other hand, I do put up videos, and there's a one-way communication to that. I do know, the 1 to 10 rule of the internet. You're going to have 10 times as many people commenting as making videos, 10 times more than that, watching. So just by putting myself up on the internet, even before you have subscribers, perhaps to a certain degree you're voluntarily becoming a public figure. And regardless, okay, maybe people are interested, because you see, the way I view my subscribers is, one, I do think there's a quality there, the people that do decide to subscribe, and it's not that they're better in an objective sense, but they're better for me because they're interested in the kinds of things and the kind of way I want to talk about these things. But I don't think these people are mostly people, certainly not the ones I see that give comments and that I discuss things with in video. They don't seem like the kind of people that are wondering, geez, I wonder what his favorite band is then, if he thinks that about epistemology. I wonder what his favorite color is. And, they may wonder where I went to school, but it certainly wouldn't help them, and they would know it wouldn't help them understand me. I mean, I disagreed with a lot of the things I was taught in school, and I'm not in any case trying to say, well, I believe something, I know it's right, because I was taught in school. So I don't see them as seeking that out, but I'm realizing, I do get some questions like this, and I sort of ignore them as quick as they come by, so it doesn't add up in my mind that, oh yeah, there's curiosity about this. So by engaging with TJ, it worked, though I got maybe even a little more annoyed than if I just ignored him. I also got these subjects, like in discussions with groups came up, and he believes in objective discussion, and he thinks I'm doing the runaround. The runaround's a very interesting issue to me, and so I managed to bring those up. Okay, now there was a small annoyance out of which I got nothing. Now I've made a bigger annoyance out of which I'm getting something, in which case the annoyance starts to dissipate. That annoyance just becomes, to me, an example of the energy that I have to go ahead and engage in the real topics, and I don't begrudge that as much as some slow, annoying thing that I'm just putting up with forever. Okay, so I consider that a success.